Thank you, everyone, again, and welcome back. Of course, as I said, a historic occasion this Saturday in Jeddah. Nothing bigger in the world of boxing than the World Heavyweight Championship. And before we get to the main event press conference, so much to discuss here to talk to the members of the undercard ahead of a huge night. Of course, we want to thank our friends at Skills Challenge, been incredible partners, the investment that they've made, not just in bringing the elite end of the sport to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, but the investment that's been made at participation level, grassroots level, the development of young talent here as well. Of course, participation levels up over 300% here in Saudi Arabia. There's amateur tournaments going on right now as we speak and throughout the week. Of course, motivated, inspired by some of the biggest names in the sport in Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua, of course. Before we talk to the fighters, of course, the Saudi Boxing Federation played such a huge role in the development of sport in the kingdom and also this event as well. Abdullah, welcome. We were here a few weeks ago. We're a few days away now from the event. As I said, amateur events going on this week as well in the kingdom. A massive moment for boxing in Saudi Arabia.
Very true. And again, I welcome everybody within the undercard. Not only that, actually, the first female fight is going to be within this undercard. The first professional female fight. So looking forward actually for growing the grassroots and looking forward for growing the female sports in boxing in general.
Very important, I know, for you and Skills Challenge and Prince Fahad and Prince Khalid as well to develop that future generation, to use boxing to inspire the younger generation and the people of this country as well. But as you said as well, plans to see one day, we have a young man here in front of us who we'll talk to shortly about seeing the future stars from Saudi Arabia as well, hopefully fight on stages and occasions like this.
And we look forward for that. I mean, Ziad is going to be our first, who is going to be in the undercard of a great event that is going to come. And hopefully more to come. He's going to inspire a lot of different other talented players to be moving from the amateurs to the ranks of the pros. And we look forward, actually, for him to be, inshallah, successful this time.
Thank you, Abdullah. Zihab, we'll start with you. Welcome. A massive moment for you as well, and excited. I saw you yesterday with fans everywhere, a big smile on your face for you, and bringing a huge event like this to the kingdom. Doesn't get much bigger than this.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, before I start, I just want to look at all the media. How good do I look right now? Good enough? The $1 million smile? I mean, it was a huge pleasure and honor to be here yesterday. And if I was writing my own story with my own hands, it wouldn't have been as good as God is writing for me right now. You know, alhamdulillah, I just love the support from the people. I love that I'm a symbol of hope and opportunity. And I'm representing more than just boxing that night. And that's a beautiful place to be for a young athlete.
I know the love that Skills Challenge and Prince Khalid and Abdullah have for the sport of boxing, but it is important when we're looking at increasing grassroots participation levels to see stars emerge, to actually be able to compete on the professional stage. You are one of them. Do you feel the pressure of almost the flag bearer, if you like, for the young stars coming through now to try and make it on a global stage?
Well, I'll tell you something, Mr. Eddie. It's a secret. Not many know, maybe. But the good thing about pressure is pressure makes diamonds. And that's what's going to happen that night. You know, I'm here to inspire. I always say I aspire to inspire. I want to be a stepping stone to the athletes of Saudi Arabia and the Arab world that are going to come after me. And that's when I know I'm going to get my job done. You know, the pressure's on, definitely. My back's against the wall. But the beautiful thing about that is I look behind me. I can't go back. There's only one way through, and that's going forward. And inshallah, I will do that.
Well, good luck on Saturday, a huge occasion for you. You weren't shy, you're full of confidence, and a young man that's also full of confidence, Ben Whitaker, welcome to the show. Great performance from you last time out, second fight in the professional journey, already boxing internationally, of course, part of the 258 team, and AJ insistent on getting you on this card. Huge opportunity for you to fight on a card like this, ready to go and showcase those skills again.
100%. First, I want to thank God for putting me in this position. I want to thank 258 for knocking the door, and you know, we got here. I'm just treating this situation as an experience for me, you know. I believe I'll be fighting for those belts one day, and I just want to see what the fighters go through, and a magnitude of this fight. It's great to be here, but not being funny, looking at some of the kids on this undercard, you needed someone like me on here.
Okay. And also, Ben, your manager and your management team, 258, of course, headed by Anthony Joshua. I know you're looking to take care of business and get out there and watch the big man do the business as well in what is a massive fight for British boxing, world boxing, and of course, Anthony Joshua.
100%. My fight, let's forget about that because we'll win that one. But looking at AJ, the nights he's brought to Britain, it's great for him and it's great for the country. So the Britain should get behind him because too many people always downplay what he's done. So I'm rooting for him. 258 are rooting for him, and the rest of Britain should.
Thanks, Ben Whitaker. You're rooting for Anthony Joshua. Daniel Lapin, you're rooting for Oleksandr Usyk, of course, translator here in the house as well. Undefeated Ukrainian star. Big opportunity for you. We saw you fight on the first card as well. Team Usyk all the way through, and another big opportunity for you this Saturday.
Даниил, видели, как ты боксируешь в первом андеркарте. И вопрос такой, что ты ожидаешь, как ты будешь проводить этот бой?
На дистанции держать. В любом случае, я очень высоким ростом в этой весовой категории. И все соперники намного ниже ростом. Поэтому я буду держать на дистанции и не давать ему подойти в ближний бой.
I have the main advantage, my height. That's why I will take my opponent on the distance, and I will not give him the opportunity to come closer.
We heard from someone before who was Team AJ. You've shared the camp with Oleksandr Usyk. You believe he will be successful on Saturday night?
Ты был на сборе вместе с Александром Усиком. Как ты думаешь, насколько он будет успешен в этом бою?
Я прошел полностью, да, сбор от и до, полностью эту подготовку, все нагрузки. Я думаю, что Александр будет, наверное, в самой лучшей форме.
I have done all the preparation with Oleksandr Usyk team, and I think that he is in the best form that he ever had.
Thank you, Daniel. We look forward to seeing you in action on Saturday night. Before we go to the top table, shows you the size and depth of this card when you've got two fighters like Andrew Tabiti and Badu Jack on this card as well. Andrew, I'll start with you. Former world title challenger, now up at heavyweight. You've got a very interesting fight against James Wilson. I mean, this is a guy who's been a bit of an internet sensation. Was going to fight on one of our cards around a year ago. That fight fell through. Not a lot of people know too much about him away from social media, but a fast, dangerous opponent. You're moving into heavier weight classes now, of course, and I know how pleased you are to be part of this event in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, I want to thank Prince Khaled from Skill Challenge. I'm real thankful to be in this opportunity. My initial opponent was Tyrone Spong, and that fight didn't go through, and so you know, I don't know if I'm gonna campaign at heavyweight. I'm gonna fight different. I'm gonna fight certain fights at heavyweight, smaller heavyweights, but I might campaign at cruiserweight and bridgerweight.
Obviously, you've mixed it with the heavyweights as well. I know you're a big part of AJ's camp before. I know you're very close as well.
Yes.
You expect him to do the business this weekend. A very tough fight for him, but you've shared many rounds with him. You know how much he wants victory at the weekend.
Yeah, AJ definitely. I definitely see him beating Usyk. He just had to be smart and use his size and all the advantages he has. He can beat him.
Thank you, Andrew. Badu Jack, former world champion. Pleasure to have you here on this card. Big fight for you as well. You're in a great run of form now, looking to move up, obviously, in the cruiserweight division as well and challenge for that world title. There's a lot of belts and a lot of champions that I'm sure you feel you could take in that division, and a big moment for you at the weekend.
Assalamu alaikum. I want to thank Prince Khaled and the Skill Challenge for having me and the whole kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I appreciate all the love. And yeah, I'm excited to finally fight here in Saudi. I fought in Abu Dhabi and in Dubai, but now finally we're here, so I'm excited.
What's the plan for you, Badu, at this stage in your career? Obviously, you're still in great form. You've been in some huge fights in America as well. Is it world titles? Again, is that the focus for you? I know you want to stay active and fight around the world as well, but having won those world championship belts before, are you still focused on becoming world champion again in a different division?
Definitely, yeah. We was trying to get the Macabo fight for this card, but yeah, it didn't happen. And hopefully next fight. And yeah, I'm here to stay. And I feel young. I take care of my body. You gotta live, a boxer lifestyle. You can't just, live when you're in training camp. It's a lifestyle all year round.
Well, great to have you on the card. Look forward to seeing you in action on Saturday night. We move to the top table, and as Abdullah says, a major moment for the country of Saudi Arabia and boxing in Saudi Arabia at the weekend. The first ever professional female fight on the card as well. Crystal Nova against Ramla Ali, who's undefeated, big part of the matchroom team in boxing all around the world. A trailblazer this week, creating history in this moment, as I said, in the first female fight in Saudi Arabia. Crystal, welcome, and via your translator as well. Big part of history for you this week. A massive stage for you. You ready for the challenge?
Es un grande placer tenerte aquí en la primera pelea de las mujeres. ¿Y cómo te sientes para hacer esa pelea?
Todo bien, gracias. Igual me siento yo también grandemente agradecida por darnos la oportunidad y por darnos también esa oportunidad de nosotras ser las dos primeras mujeres que vamos a pelear en Arabia Saudita.
She says thank you very much to give her this opportunity to be one of the first girl fights in Saudi Arabia, what they have, and she looks forward to give her best in the ring.
Thank you very much, Crystal. Ramla, welcome. We know these kind of moments are very important for you with your journey and your story in the sport. You've been incredibly active. You've boxed all around the world already, but this moment, something very, very different that we remembered for a long time to come.
100%. I was saying to the journalists earlier that, world records will be broken on the track, or, when you're doing 100 meters, you might have the world record at that time, but then two months later, someone will beat it. But for me and my opponent, Crystal, we'll be the first women in history, and no one can take that away from us. We will cement our names, and it will be there forever. And I know along the way that we're going to be inspiring so many young girls and so many women to not only take up the sport of boxing, but take up sport in general. I'm actually hosting a sisters club here tomorrow, not in this venue, but like in Saudi Arabia. And like 30 to 40 girls have signed up to do the class. And, knowing that we've inspired at least 30/40 women is a huge achievement in my eyes.
Obviously, I know that's important to you, and that creates its own legacy as well. But you're also getting to the point now where you're approaching the championship end of your career, unbeaten and improving all the time. Great camps with Manny Robles as well. Yeah. I know you'll be soaking up that history and legacy moment this weekend, but also an important fight to win as you move towards championship fights in 2023.
100%. I'd love to have one final fight at the end of the year, hopefully for a title, Eddie. I hope so. So working towards that. It's like you said, I've had an incredible camp. I'm so incredibly blessed to work with Manny's son, my new strength coach, Matthias, and Edgar, who we've had to leave behind in LA. I feel like their experience altogether has helped me become so ready for this fight. It's a joke. So I'm 100% ready to put on a great performance on Saturday. I know my opponent is game, and together we're going to show that women deserve to be on these big stages, and we deserve to box in Saudi Arabia.
Well, thank you very much. A historic moment in that fight, Ramla Ali against Crystal Nova. Two tremendous fights to talk about here. Two fights that are so important to their respective divisions. Firstly, the WBC final eliminator for the world light heavyweight title between Mathieu Bordelic and Callum Smith as well. Callum Smith, of course, has his own legacy in history in Saudi Arabia, winning the World Boxing Super Series, the WBA World Super Middleweight Championship, the Ring Magazine belt as well, now looking to secure a shot to become a two-division world champion. And Mathieu, we'll start with you, with your translator here as well. A massive fight for you. You're on a great run, European champion as well, but this is a big moment for your career.
Tu as eu une grande carrière jusqu'à présent. Mathieu, c'est un grand moment. Comment tu entrevois ce combat-là?
Bonjour à tous. Désolé aussi pour l'anglais, que je ne parle pas. Je n'ai pas été longtemps à l'école, malheureusement. Écoutez, pour moi, c'est une chance de pouvoir boxer dans une carte aussi prestigieuse. Joshua Usyk, ça va me donner beaucoup de visibilité et surtout, ça va me permettre de montrer tous mes atouts.
First of all, I'm sorry, I do not speak English, but I'm honored to be here to fight on such a prestigious card, and I'll be able to show all my skills in front of a big stage.
Your opponent, Callum Smith, a former world champion, a big puncher, but only one fight at light heavyweight so far. You're confident you will be victorious on Saturday?
Ton adversaire, un gros cogneur, son premier combat chez les mi-lourds. Es-tu content? Es-tu confiant de pouvoir gagner samedi?
Écoutez, je suis un combattant dans l'âme. J'ai toujours été un battant tout le long de ma carrière. Et c'est énorme pour moi, il n'y a pas de problème. Avec grand plaisir de pouvoir faire ce combat.
I'm a warrior at first. It's in my DNA. I'm always here to win. I'm ready for a good fight.
Thank you, Mathieu. Callum, welcome. It's been a long time coming, this one. Firstly June, then July, then August, of course. You've been patient, waiting for the right opportunity. I know at this point in your career, all you are focused on is being a two-division world champion as well. Number one in the WBC yourself against number two in the WBC. A good fight for you this weekend and obviously a must-win.
Yeah, must win. I think every fight's a must win at this stage of your career, and I'm in a busy division, a packed division where there's a lot of fighters waiting for a shot at the world title, and a loss here puts me at the back of the queue, and it's a very big queue to go to the back of, and a win here puts me at the front of the queue. It puts me next in line to fight for the world title, which, as you said, is the goal. I've been there before, down at 168, and I believe I'm good enough to do it at 175, so it's a must win. I'm excited. It's a big show. It's a big platform to perform on, and hopefully I can get the business done and move on to the world title.
Great memories for you in Jeddah, of course, in the same arena that you'll be fighting on Saturday when you captured the World Boxing Super Series trophy. You captured the World Super Middleweight title. You captured the Ring Magazine Championship as well. Interesting to see the changes returning here as well. It must be really good vibes for you this week.
Yeah, it's been good to be here. It's good to get back here, and obviously I've got the best memories from here, becoming world champion, and there's a good buzz around the place this time round, and obviously it's a great main event, but I'm here to do a job, and that's win, and I left here last time as a world champion. I believe I'll leave here this time, ready to fight for a new one, so there's a lot at stake for me this stage in my career, and I'm here to perform, I'm here to put a show on.
Well, look forward to a tremendous fight. Callum Smith against Mathieu Bordalik. Final eliminator for Artur Beterbiev's WBC World Light Heavyweight title. Now, of course, the main event, a tremendous heavyweight fight, but also the co-main event, a very, very important fight in the heavyweight division. A final eliminator for the IBF World Heavyweight title. The winner of this fight will go on to be the mandatory challenger for the winner of Usyk against Joshua. We'll start with Zhang Zhilei, the Big Bang, of course. A tremendous run of knockout victories for yourself. Olympic medalist. Huge star in China as well. And this moment, a huge moment for yourself, for your country, as you could potentially land a shot at the world heavyweight title.
来说是非常重要的，能不能形容一下这个对自己、对国家的重要性？
首先呢，很高兴啊，来到沙特阿拉伯，然后来参加这一场盛大的比赛。感谢艾迪亨，感谢麦吉鲁姆，感谢主办方。这场比赛对我来讲是一场很重要的比赛，因为赢了这一场比赛就可以直接挑战世界拳王。但是我的最终目标就是拿到世界拳王，所以说这场比赛对我很重要。如果我拿下这一场比赛之后，然后将对中国的职业拳击打进一针强心剂，然后会令整个中国人民感到兴奋。
First of all, it's an honor for me to be here in Saudi Arabia. I would like to say thank you to Mr. Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, and Saudi Arabia for making this happen. Being here, it's a privilege for me. Of course, this fighting is important. It's the IBF eliminator. Winning this fight would meaning like I can directly step up to face the winner of Usyk Joshua, and it means a lot in China and the sport of boxing in China. I will promote the sport of boxing in China just for all my people.
上一场比赛，我的上一场比赛，然后在中国的收视率已经达到有6000多万人在观看，然后这场比赛我估计会超过1个亿，所以说整个中国人民都在看我的比赛，中国人有14亿人口，然后中国的市场很大，所以说他们都在全力的支持我。
And for my last fight, 60 million people from China tuned in to watch that. I believe we'll make another history this time. I'm expecting 100 million. I have 1.4 billion people behind me and supporting me. Let's make it happen.
所以说这一场比赛是我为国家而战。
I'm fighting for my country.
Finally, Zhang, I said earlier you look in tremendous shape, and you said Chinese power. You believe you win this fight by knockout on Saturday?
你觉得周六会不会用 Chinese power 来击倒对手
？Yes， 周六会让大家再次见证中国力量。
Saturday, everybody's going to witness Chinese power again.
Thank you, Zhang.
Thank you.
Filip Hrgović, welcome. Thank you. Filip Hrgović, welcome. I don't know if that was for you or Zhang, but I'm not arguing with them, so it's fine. Firstly, before we start, I just want to thank everybody at Wasserman Boxing, Kalle and Nissa Sauerland as well for their support in making this happen. Filip, this is a big moment. We've been waiting for a fight like this for a long time. Feels like we went through the entire IBF top 15 once. We went through it again, and finally we found the man that was prepared to step up and fight you. You are now one fight away from being the mandatory challenger for the world heavyweight title. This is the moment of your career so far.
Hi to everyone. Thanks for having me here. It's good to be part of this huge event. And I'm waiting for this fight almost 2 years. And like you said, we went through whole list. A lot of fighters didn't want to fight with me, and I'm glad that we find the one who wants that. Thanks to Zhang and his team, and I think we'll make a great fight.
This fight, a lot of people talking about, of course, southpaw, quite avoided as well, and a big puncher you're in against as well. You like to stand and trade leather as well. You are a huge puncher as well. A lot of people feel this fight is unlikely to hear the final bell.
Yeah, we are both big guys. We are both big punchers, and but the thing is that I think he's really dangerous guy. But he lasts for few rounds. But I'm dangerous whole the fight. I'm dangerous for 12 rounds. That's the difference.
And finally, as well, I know you're focused on Saturday, but the main event is a huge fight, and to put yourself as mandatory for the winner of Usyk and Joshua is a big moment for your career.
Yeah, it's a great moment, and I want, especially, I'm going to co-main event on this card before all these great fighters here, ex-world champions and contenders, and it's really honor for me. Thanks for that opportunity, and I'm sure you're not gonna regret that, and we make a great fight.
I agree with you. A tremendous fight. IBF final eliminator for the world heavyweight title. Filip Hrgović against Zhang Zhilei. So many great fights on the undercard. Of course, the main event, Anthony Joshua challenges Oleksandr Usyk for the unified world heavyweight title. But so many great fights before that in Jeddah on Saturday in Saudi Arabia. The fighters now are going to pose for head-to-heads, those on the top table, and also join the media wall down there for further interviews before we have a brief pause to go into the main event press conference. Thank you for your time. We'll be back shortly.
Excuse me. Thank you. Can we get a bit more space between the people? Just get on with it. That's it. All right, we'll move it again. Face to face, please. Mate, can you get out of front? Guys in front, come out the way. Come out the way. Yeah. Excuse me, my phone. Thank you. Thanks for the front end. Face the front, please. Front, please. Excuse me. All this way.
Well, thanks for staying with us. That concludes our undercard press conference. You can see that former three-time world title challenger Matthew Macklin is with me. And Matt, some good fights there to talk about. Which one stands out most for you?
I think Hrgovic and Zhang, the heavyweight clash, is going to be, I think that could be fireworks to say the least. Also Callum Smith, of course, and Ben Whitaker, the next fight, and should be an exciting journey.
It gets to that point of the week, we're getting to prediction time. With the two heavyweights, they're both big bangers. And I can just see off camera that a big banger is ready to join us in Callum Smith. So I won't actually go to the heavyweights. I'll stay on the light heavyweights. Callum, I mean, he just walks around and you think, how on earth was he so effective at super middleweight? He's ginormous. Good fight against Matthew Bolderlik, Olympic bronze medalist himself. What are we looking for from Callum Smith? He's obviously coming off the back of that spectacular knockout at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
I'm looking for another spectacular knockout, which I think we'll get it.
Do you?
You know, I was watching his opponent shadowboxing yesterday. He's quite bouncy on his feet. He's quite hands very high. He leaves a lot of big gap there around the body, and he's a lethal body puncher, Callum Smith. So I think we're going to see fireworks again. Do you feel that the winner of this will go straight in to fight for that WBC world title? Originally on the poster we saw it as a final eliminator, and I think it is a final eliminator for the WBC title. Do you think he will go straight into it after this, the winner, if it is Callum? I think there's a very good chance of it. I think Beterbiev is should fight Yard. Yeah, it looks like he's going to fight Yard, so we'll have to see. That's WBO, I think, mandatory. Mm-hmm. So the WBC enforce their mandatory next, and Callum wins this and it is a final eliminator, then he gets his shot, and I'm pretty sure that's one that Callum would be happy to go straight into. Yeah, I mean, if he's ready to come in now, we'll bring him straight. Callum, you come straight into the middle with us here, give you centre stage. Good to see you. First time we've caught up with you this week. I mean, everyone's obsessing about the weight, and Paul Smith, your older brother, was very quick to say to us yesterday, look, he never struggled at super middleweight, but it's a slightly different question. How much of yourself do you think you were leaving on the floor, taking all that
that weight off, even though you may well have been doing it easy? Do you feel that it was starting to strain your performance towards the end?
Yeah, definitely. I think what he means is that because out of camp I don't balloon up in weight, and I never always had a ridiculous cut, but I think what I was taking off was taken away, and it was more way into fight night that my body stopped filling back up the way it used to, and I was getting lighter and lighter on fight night. So I do think it started to take its toll and started to affect my performances, which I knew was going to happen at some point. I was just never sure why. I always knew I had the size to end up at 175, but I feel a lot better up here. I feel good, I feel strong, and I think I'm ready to build on my last performance.
What do you walk around that day-to-day life? I mean, I'm not starting to ask about your eating habits and stuff like that, but if you're in camp, what are you walking in around at? And on fight night, what do you think you'll weigh?
I'm not too sure. It's still like not a learning process, but I'm still seeing how my body adapts to it. I've had one fight at the weight, but me walking around, weight was going a little bit bigger and bigger and stuff. So, I'm not a small 175. I believe I'm a big 175, and I feel good. I do it correct. I've got Scott Robinson, who's a great nutritionist, and Johnny Reynolds, who's a great strength conditioner, and they work together to get me in another best shape possible. And then they obviously got Buddy, who does the boxing side of it. But I've got a great team. I believe I'm dedicated. I do everything correct, and I believe I'll be 100% come fight night.
Before he comes and joins us, Paul, Matt, you both worked under Buddy McGirt. Callum now does work. I mean, where on earth do we start? I'll give you the chance to start. I mean, how do you understand each other first?
You've just seen me and Matt laughing. He's standing behind the camera, like picking his shirt up and making jokes with us. But Matt will tell you, when we were in Vero Beach, it's an experience. He's brilliant to be around. He's hysterical, absolutely comical. But
is he one of the funniest people that you've worked with? Because I know that how funny Bobby Rimmer was for Matt and yourself, but how funny is Buddy McGirt?
All through the years, Billy Graham, Bobby Rimmer, obviously, Buddy, but apart from everything else with Buddy, he's quality as a trainer.
Let's make space for him. Come straight in. Buddy, how are you? We're live.
We're live?
We're live. I mean, you're allowed
the reason why they got one black guy in here, that's all I want to know.
I mean,
that's all I want to know. You know what I mean?
You're here because, first off, we're going to talk about Callum down the line, but you know these two. So for people that don't know, where on earth did this journey start with Paul? How long ago was the Contender? I mean, and how well has he aged?
Okay, I can tell you how it happened. It was Paul. Paul recommended Mac the Knife.
So you got Paul to blame.
Hello? Yeah, man. One did too much road work. One did no road work. So.
You remember last time you saw Matt? You called him Harry Styles. I mean, he's Benjamin Button. He's getting younger with age, though, don't you think?
I don't know about all that, but but he still like Harry Styles though, especially with the hair, cocked to the side.
What about training Matt? What was he like?
Matt was good. I mean, listen, they all worked hard. I mean, I'm not going to take that from them. My funny thing with Matt was we fought. What was the Mexican guy's name? Campos. He came back to the corner. He goes, "Hey mate," he hit me hard to the stomach. I said, "Well, we got 4 more rounds to go." But listen, they all worked hard, man. It was a pleasure working with them.
I think Callum's the easiest to understand out of all 4 brothers.
Understand what?
The accent. How are you getting on with Liam, Paul, Stephen, Callum in terms of understanding?
We text each other a lot. We text, but I'm getting it. It's getting better. It's getting better because see, they have friends that talk like really fast, and I gotta take one word and put it with the last word and figure out what the hell was in the middle.
But if you give Paul the microphone, can you relate to that? Do you think I've just told him something there and I don't think that's gone in?
No, he understands. He sits there quietly, but understands. But after every session, we all go for some food together and we all go for the coffee together. So he's picking up things, but whenever we speak together, he's like, "What did you just say? I can't understand what you said." He's learned a few Scouse words as well, like the garage and a few other things. And
garage.
when we're
See
going,
you later.
See you later.
See you later.
Picking things
Hey,
up.
what? See you later. I mean, and from him I learned sound. Sound as a pound. I'm getting it, baby. I'm going to be listening.
The international language of boxing, we're all learning it. What about Callum at light heavyweight? A real danger, ready for a world title next if he gets through this on Saturday?
Well, yes, definitely a threat. But right now I just want to focus on Saturday. But, he's definitely a threat. And they know that. And so right now we just got to take it one fight at a time and just, keep going the way we're going.
What about Mathieu Baldelic? What do you know about him? Matt and Paul joined us yesterday. Obviously a southpaw. Obviously he was one of those that took advantage of going into the Olympics with a pro background. But apart from that, what have you seen?
Yeah, he's a good southpaw, typical stand-up. Good skills, good boxing brain. You can see why he had the style to be able to go back amateur and have success. But he's coming off a good win, his best win last time out. He stopped the European champion. So look, he's got me respect. He's a tough fighter, and there's a lot at stake for the both of us. And I've made it clear what my aim is to be a 2-weight world champion. And if that is the case, then this Saturday's a must-win fight for me. So I've got to perform. I've got to make sure the best version of me turns up, and I've done everything I can in camp with Buddy to make sure that happens.
Coming off one of the best one-punch knockouts you'll see in your life, back on the undercard of the first Usyk Joshua fight. If you do everything that you and Buddy have worked on behind closed doors, do you think you'll get another explosive finish to this? Is that on the cards?
Look, possibly. I think what Buddy's trying to drill into me is the power's there. You can't look for it. Just let your hands go, and I believe if I listen, that the power will always be there. And last time out I didn't go looking for it, and I managed to get one. So games to win are always, but I always aim to perform and look good. So we'll see. Fingers crossed we can get another early one.
Brilliant. Thank you for coming and joining us. You're all free to go. Paul, Buddy, Callum, thank you very much.
No. Harry Styles.
He's staying with me. He's staying with me. We're starting a boy band.
Right,
so
hey, you know, my daughter loves Harry Styles. So somebody said your father said it's with Harry Styles. So she calls me up. I'm like, you ain't no Harry Styles. Man, I was with Matt the Knife.
Thank you. Buddy McGirt, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we were on a roller coaster there. I wasn't quite sure where we were going to go next, but we got there. Okay, well, Ben Whitaker, the surgeon, is in the house. He's just fulfilling a couple of media commitments, and he'll be joining us. How on earth did you get any work done behind closed doors?
Listen, Buddy's a major character. You have to be around the scene in New York. You go to the fights and everyone knows Buddy. Got great time for him because he's so funny. He's a constant comedian. But in between the laughs and the jokes,
that masks the fact that he's a brilliant.
That man's the
brilliant trainer.
He's up there with the most knowledgeable people in boxing. Period. That's an American word. Period. Full stop. But he is. He spent so much time with guys like Georgie Benton and Ray Assal, and you know what I mean. He's just back in the day at Gleason's. He's just another level.
Let's bring in the surgeon himself, Ben Whitaker. Ben, come and join us in the middle here. We are live. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you again. How are you feeling? I mean, you take the experience away from the first fight week, and let's not beat around the bush. You've been around the world in all of those amateur tournaments. You know what it's like being away from home. But that was your first week as a pro back down in Bournemouth. It is still a new experience. How do you reflect on the whole experience? Not taking into account fight night, but all of the cameras and stuff like that. It is a little bit more attention on you.
Yeah, the whole glitz and glamour of it's a bit mad, but I think I'm made for it. But me just being honest, what I did to that kid, I was supposed to do with that. I'm not going to be this and that. I've been fighting at the top level as an amateur, so it was a bit of a step down, but it's what I'm supposed to do in that type of fashion. So I'm happy I did that, and Saturday is just another fight.
Matt, is there anything you want to ask Ben? I mean, you were commentating on it, and you had a look on your face that, we thought you were going to be good. We're blowing smoke now. We thought you were going to be good, but so many prospects come and say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and not everybody can live up to the big billing, but Ben did that, didn't he?
Yeah, look, that was an easy fight for him. That was a step down from the level he's been fighting at, as he rightly said then. So, we knew he was going to do that, but at the same time, it was nice to see it. It was the moves. It was basically a punch perfect pro debut. Yeah. Show us what you got a little bit first round, a bit of showboating, and then take him out with a one-punch knockout. That's what you want. He's going to have much tougher tests ahead, but he's got the pedigree. We know what he achieved as an amateur. So, he looks like he could be the real deal. He's got the star quality as well. Moved rightly. He keeps applying himself, stays dedicated, stays grounded. He could be a superstar.
Boxer and Ben Shalom are obviously very, very happy with how the debut went. It's a scary thought, but how much more is to come? How much did we see there?
100%. I'm my own critic, so there's little things that I know I didn't do right, but I'm still learning. Like I said, there was a lot of anticipation, a lot of expectation on me, so I was a bit hesitant. But at the end of the day, it's over and done with now. I'm on to my second fight in 3 weeks, so it shows what type of person I am. I just want to get out as much as possible. The more activity is key, and the more I keep fighting under these lights, I'll perform better.
Injury-free now as well, it was quite a major operation you had.
Yeah, it was a major operation, and that's one thing people didn't see in the amateurs. I couldn't really throw my right hand. I've got two hands now, and you see people dropping, so that set out the surgeon because he did something.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good for Ben to be on this type of a stage, to get a taste for it for one, to motivate him to want to be here himself. But also when the day comes and he is at these things, you're not overawed by the occasion as well. So you're taking it all in, enjoying it, and
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth there, and that's what I'm trying to push to people. The fight's one thing, but it's more the experience, just seeing what the fighters go through, all the media, things like that, because one day I want to be fighting for these belts, and when I do get to that position, I've kind of felt it already, so when the camera's in my face, I won't get overawed. So that's why I took this fight, just for the simple fact that I've been here and done it already.
Now you're up and running as a pro, though. Has the trajectory changed at all? You were calling out Dan Aziz for just a handful of fights, looking at British level pretty quickly. Now we're up and running. Has that changed at all, or are you still thinking let's do things quickly?
Well, I'm not getting any younger, so you've got to move as quick as possible, but you got to be realistic. I'm a young kid, I'm a bit of a threat to these people. They want to move on to bigger fights, so really it's if they want to make it happen, I'm game as to come. I've showed that before, and all I can do is just be who's in the opposite corner.
And that Kronk style is something that's still developing with Sugar Hill. We're talking about early days in your pro career, but early days in that relationship as well. You still feel like there's more to come and gel in that relationship?
Oh yeah, there's so much more to come. Even in my first fight, there was still the old me as an amateur moving a bit too quick and getting stuck in between Sugar Star, but it was only 4 or 5 weeks together, so 12 months, 18 months when we really gel, I think that's when you'll see the real best Ben Whitaker.
Just finally, you're on that camera there, it's your platform. You got a message for everyone back home. It's not the easiest place for all your fans to come out and cheer you on, so there'll be a lot of people back home that are going to be tuning into Sky Sports Box Office.
I just want to say, guys, just tune in to see another juicy performance. First, I just want to thank 258 Boxer Sky Sports for making this happen, and I'm just looking forward to putting a nice clinical performance once again. And when I'm back home, buy your tickets and see me in real life.
Let's get it. Well done. Thank you for joining us. You're free to go. Rolling substitutions. Thank you for not letting me hanging. Leave me hanging, thank God. Matt, you're free to. We're going to take you out. Spencer and Johnny, you come in. Yes, Betty, you come in. I'll share the microphone with you. First time that I've had.
Does that look all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think
just
so.
Just checking.
Great to see you. You've been working hard out here with TalkSport. It's your opportunity to tell us how you're seeing this and your thoughts on everything. We've talked to death about it and the narratives involved, but what's the headline for you? What are you most looking out for? Particularly throwing it forward to today, the main event press conference. Usyk, the master of the Mayhems. What are we looking out for in terms of how the two fighters behave towards each other?
This is plain and simple for me. Look, everybody's sort of like on the same page. They're all saying what we're all thinking is that Anthony Joshua, we know what he's got to do. He's got to change the scripts. He tried to outbox the best boxer in the world. He said it himself to me personally. He said, I tried to outbox him because he was that confident going in. He thought he was going to win the fight anyway. Then found out how good Usyk actually was, and he was that good at heavyweight. And he said before he knew it, he was 5 or 6 rounds in, and he couldn't get out of that situation because Usyk was in such a rhythm. And he slowly and systematically got beaten up. And in the 12th round, nearly stopped with about 10 seconds to go. And that's what he's got to overcome, that psychological damage, that scar tissue from Usyk's taking off from where he great at figuring fighters out. Now Usyk's he's going to take off from where he left off, and Joshua is the one that's got to change things. He knows he's got to go forward. He knows he's got to apply the pressure. He knows he's got to be educated. He knows he had to make changes, hence why he went to America. He didn't just go with one trainer. He tried 5 or 6, and he's finally settled with Robert Garcia. Felt that Garcia could add something. We saw a little bit of that in the open workout actually. Joshua was fainting a little, fainting downstairs, fainting upstairs. Perhaps he's trying to set the traps, draw Usyk, get Usyk to lead first. But ultimately, he knows that he has to apply the pressure. He knows he's got to be educated so that he doesn't get caught. And he's got to look for the knockout. He can't take this as a 12-round fight.
You agree with Eddie Hearn? It could be a 6-round fight.
It has to be.
Wow.
It has to be, because round 8 or 9, it doesn't matter what pace it's going, fatigue will set in. And as soon as that happens, Usyk's great at doing the distance. That's what he does. You look at his record, he goes the distance, he goes into the late rounds a lot. Joshua has to take this as a 6-round fight. He has to roll the dice, but he's got to be careful he don't get knocked out. This is a fight where it's knockout or get knocked out. And it's as plain and simple as that, right? It's all right people saying, oh, Joshua, yeah, you got to pressure. But Usyk's great at setting traps. Why do you think he's bolts up so much now, Usyk, right?
Do you think he has? Do you think he has?
I think he'll probably come in around 16-12. Joshua will be around 17-3.
Well, he's 15-11 first time round.
Absolutely.
So you think over a stone?
Absolutely, yeah. I think a stone. I think he'll put on 15 pounds around that sort of weight. And I think the reason he's done that is because he knows that Joshua's going to bring the heat, and he needs to hold his ground a little bit, but he still need the mobility.
Wow.
So I think that look, he's a smart guy. People are going, well, Usyk's slowing, putting 15 pounds on. That will slow him down a little. Like he'll hold his feet more. That gives Joshua an opportunity, and that gives Joshua a chance. Yes, it does, but only a small one. You know, because he's a smart guy. He won't have done that unless he's still got his mobility and stuff. That's why, look, forget what happened in the first fight. You know when we talked about the first fight, right? And you went, immediately after that first bell went, we all went, there ain't no rematch there. That was so one-sided. That was ridiculous. It was like, no chance. Since then, these guys have been on this incredible journey for whatever reason. Usyk, you know, with what's going on with his country, going to war, him going to war, being released, the passion that he's got for his country, trying to buy the TV rights so that his country could watch it for free. That tells you this guy would walk through hot coals just to get this victory. The guy wants it that bad. So he's coming with a different mindset. He's doing it. He's a passionate guy that's doing this not just for himself but for his country. And Anthony Joshua's doing this to save his career. You know, he's doing this because he's that people going, look, it's all right, he's earned loads of money in silk sheets and all this business, but the guy's still hungry. Boxing's his life, boxing's his sport. If he wasn't hungry, he would never have gone to America. He would never have, you know, down tools, gone, right, I need a new trainer. I know things have got to change. Tells you that he's still hungry. So it's going to be a totally different fight to the first one we've seen. First one, Joshua's gone in there thinking, I've got this. All I've got to do is turn up, right? It was the worst mistake Johnny could tell you that any fighter can make. Usyk got into a room quick and Joshua couldn't break it. This time, Joshua knows what he's going into. Let's see if that scar tissue doesn't remain. You know, if he can overcome that psychological damage that was done in the first fight. If he can do that. I asked Evander Holyfield, right, this question. I said, when you boxed Riddick Bowe, you lost the first fight. You lost the first fight, but won the second fight. How did you overcome that? What mentally, how did you approach that? And he said, you've got to find yourself from within. But more importantly, you've got to believe in yourself and you have to commit yourself. You've got to be prepared to take one to land one. You're right? So I think the key for us all here is when Joshua first gets caught.
I know we are.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. Am I rambling on a little bit here? When Joshua first gets caught, when that first shot lands, let's see how he reacts. Right? Even if he does the little Elvis dance, but if he comes back, you think, right, we've got a chance here. But it's whether if he gets caught and he does that little, and then he goes, whoa, I don't fancy this much, he's in for a tough night. You know, it's against Joshua here, make no doubt about it. He's an overwhelming underdog, huge underdog going into this, but there's something in the back of my mind that says he's going to do it from somewhere, he's going to find it, and he's going to turn it around. It's a mad one. Look,
ladies and gentlemen, Spencer Oliver, what an answer that is. I only asked one answer. He filled the whole stream.
Sorry,
he filled the whole stream. Poor Johnny, his arms fell off.
Sorry,
Ladies
mate.
and gentlemen, what an answer.
Sorry,
you
mate.
asked him what he had for breakfast. Look at that.
Sorry,
amazing.
Mate. Sorry, I'm getting carried away. Anyway, let me continue.
as I was only just getting, as I was saying.
Yeah.
Right,
so when we get into the second round,
Spencer, you're free to go, mate. Thank you so much. Brilliant. Follow that.
See ya. But you know what? Everything he said was spot on. And Spencer's a personal friend. I mean, a personal friend of AJ. And when it comes to going in the gym, when they are in Finchley, he knows him inside out. He's one of his boys, so he knows the situation. What he's told is actual fact. Everything fact about that. For AJ, the one thing that is most important that has changed is mindset. So his mindset now, because he's had to go back. You remember, he and Ron McCracken were parted company, and that must have been a big call in the first place anyway. Sure. So if you're willing to make such a sacrifice in regards to a friendship, a lifetime career, you think, you know what, I've got to do everything to win. So he's not done that for no reason. He's done it. That means he's got to have changed a lot of things about how he looks at things. And now he knows what to expect. He knows the dangers. He knows what could possibly happen if he doesn't get this right. If he goes in there and calculates wrong. So he knows exactly what he's going to do.
Like, to coin a phrase that Spencer hinted at there, in Anthony Joshua's mind, it surely has to be round 1, not round 13. This is a new fight. We can't spend time looking backwards. We have to start afresh.
that familiarity breeds content. So it suits Anthony Joshua knowing what's happened the first time, knowing Oleksandr.
Really? Is that how you look at it? It doesn't suit Usyk for a man that with 10 seconds to go, many thought that he could have been on his way to a stoppage.
So Usyk said, so now Usyk, what does he have to change? All he has to change is the pace, because everything else works for him. He changed the pace. In his head, he thinks Joshua run out of gas. Done. That's what he has to change the pace. He's put the more weight on, so he thinks, I want to stop this guy, just change the pace. For Anthony Joshua, he's got room for growth. He thinks, right, what did I do wrong and what should I do right? I've got to do X, Y, Z. I didn't do this. I didn't box my style. I tried to match him for what he did. That was his worst mistake. So he's got things to change. Usyk just has to put his foot on the pedal a little bit more. And if you're his coach, you say you did everything right. Just jump on him early.
Let's just finish. Forgive us if we stop mid-sentence. We may pause for an anthem shortly, but whilst we're waiting for that to begin, can I ask you, and sorry, Mr. Russ Abner, you're live, but I'm taking your seat with my notepad. What do you think that we will see today? Usyk in previous press conferences, I mean, him and Tony Bellew was a brilliant press conference. He has the right things to say through, and his promoter Alex Krasiuk via the translation. You know, it's quirky, funny answers. In the first press conference, he wore the suit. I think he was doing like mathematical equations in the past. What do you think he might bring today?
I expect exactly the same. He will somehow try and undermine, dismiss, and sort of subtly, passively ignore AJ or what's been said. And he'll play with it, because he's mature enough to understand this means nothing. And it's a fight that's usually wound up. The fighter that's one that's making a bigger deal of it.
It's funny though, because we think it means everything, don't we?
Yeah,
like everything,
exactly.
we overanalyze every single word, every single bit of body language.
For AJ, and I've always said it, even when they announced this fight, and I think they came out here to do the presser, I said I do not like the familiarity. I do not like him making Usyk feel comfortable in his presence. I hope AJ comes in with a chip on his shoulder and a bit of an attitude. That's what I hope. So give Usyk something to think about. He might smirk, he'll think, yeah, you're angry, I've got to, whatever. But he needs to make this guy think about him some way. At the moment, Usyk thinks, you know what, it's going to be a hard fight, but I know exactly what's to come. AJ's a nice guy. So to play Mr. Nasty in this situation, it's against the grain. He's got to come in here and make this guy think, you don't know me. We fought once before, I made a mistake, that won't happen again. And he's got to create something to make this guy feel uncomfortable, or at least think about it tonight when he goes back to his hotel. At least think about it when he's getting on the weighing scales.
Is that easier said than done for someone like Usyk, who seems completely laid back the whole time?
But AJ,
excuse me, sorry, we're live, it's okay.
But AJ can control who he is. AJ can control what he has to do with himself, and he thinks, you know, I'm going to control who I am. You can think what you want. I am not your mate. Right now, for the next 48, 72 hours, I'm not your friend. I've got a job to do. Don't make this guy feel comfortable. I hope he does that. At least that's a great sign straight away. He knows what he's got to do in training. He's just got to put it into practice. When he puts it into practice, then the results say, oh. And I totally agree. This is a 6-round fight.
You do agree with that?
It's a 6-round fight. They say he ain't going the distance. And if it's gone the distance, Anthony Joshua's lost.
Wow. Okay.
This is a 6-round fight.
Can I just put this out there to play devil's advocate? Everybody that we've had on this stream since the start of the week, got to be a more aggressive AJ.
Yep.
Got to go for the knockout. This is a 6-round fight. If he doesn't knock him out, he'll get knocked out, or he could knock Usyk out.
Even AJ said that.
Is there any danger at all that everybody's getting it wrong? That it could be similar to the first fight, that that red mist doesn't descend, that they both stand off and it turns into a boxing match again? Is there any chance at all? I'm putting it out there. It's not my opinion. I'm putting it out there just to cause debate.
AJ needs this because he cannot. He gambled before. He lost the gamble. So why would you make the same bet again?
Yeah.
Because you know what this guy's capable of doing.
The only reason you would make that bet is because everybody, man and their dog, think that you're going to do the other thing.
So again, but if he does, he's going to lose.
That's the wrong thing, yeah.
He's going to lose. So therefore, he thinks, you know what? I've got to throw it all in. I've got to throw it all in. The chances are he can pull off the win. Chances are he can pull off the knockout. You look at his knockout ratio. You look at the natural sides of him. He's got to lean on him. He's got to push him. He's got to open the palm of his glove. Make him complain to the referee.
The dark arts of the sport, perhaps, that nobody really likes to advocate, but perhaps exactly. In a fight that you have to try and employ
my
a bit.
coach, Brendan Ingle, he that kind of stuff, he said, look, fighting is not just about handing your hands up, jab, left, right, left. Fighting is mental, physical, get up close and personal, push a man on the blind side, I tell you who's got it off to a T? Tyson Fury. He has it off to a T, and look where he is. Look what he's done with his career. He has it off to a T. And other fighters out there need to think, I'm not saying beat Tyson Fury. What I'm saying is they've got to be prepared to push things to the limit. And go near those dark arts to think, I've got to do this, because fighting's fighting. This isn't etiquette. This isn't. I'm going to a school of fighting. You're going in there to win. And AJ needs to produce that kind of mentality to think, I'm going to do anything to win this fight.
Is there any thought process at all, if you're in Team Usyk, that you could get this fight done?
Yeah.
Very, very quickly.
Yeah, because look at the last fight.
When you think about the high stakes, though, and you think about his previous performances, do you think that discussion is happening behind closed doors at all, that they might think along the same lines as you, that if AJ comes out fast, the opportunity might present itself?
They know the first half of the fight is going to be dangerous, and they're hoping, you know what, if it's a gunslinging match, it's a 50-50. We've seen him when he boxed Tony Bellew, pressured him with his feet. He was actually behind on points, and then he just exhausted Tony Bellew and then stepped it up, and they thought, I've got you. That might be a mindset. He'll look at the last fight, and I think the last fight I almost had him, but I didn't put my foot on the grass and make him work hard enough. So therefore, if I do it earlier and make him work hard from there early on, there's no way this guy's going to get to the end. So all he has to do is exactly what he's done, but from the beginning, from the off. That's all he has to do. Don't overcook it. Because don't
overcomplicate it. Yeah.
What he's done.
I laugh because you just say it's so simple. I mean, boxing's not an easy sport, but you make it sound so simple.
Yeah, but that's it. What can his coach tell him? He can't say you did this wrong, you did that right. He won. You know, he won in a fashion, he did it on point. So what can his coach tell him? Say he did nothing wrong. So he's just got to do exactly the same thing, but be prepared to put it on him from the off. They're looking at the stoppage, and I'm quite sure their side are thinking that as well. They know it's a dangerous fight, but he has the capability of being so relaxed in there, so relaxed under pressure. We were all messing him out trying to catch those 4 coins.
Behind those lights, that is Anthony Joshua walking in.
We were all messing him out trying to catch those 4 coins, and when we were trying to do it, you know, we couldn't do it. We just relaxed it, you know, doing our thing. But let's see what he's got to say.
So that is Anthony Joshua making his way to the top table there. I know you don't want to see the back of my head, but I'll step to one side. So that is Anthony Joshua. I think we might as well stay just until Oleksandr Usyk enters the room. Interesting that there's all this talk, isn't there, on fight night, that Joshua walks first. He may well have to play a waiting game with the ring walks, and if Usyk did so choose to delay it, he's going to wait now as well, because Usyk is not here.
He's a game playing kind of guy.
You don't think?
He doesn't have to.
But that's funny though, because of everything we've just said about press conferences, he's the master of playing games.
No, but when it comes to the fight itself,
it's business,
he doesn't have to do
strictly
it.
business. Yeah.
You know, all this stuff, all this hullabaloo before, it doesn't mean anything. You're not going to get hurt. You're not going to get hurt with a flip of a coin or somebody doing some little juggling tricks. You're going to get hurt. So he can play with that. But that making him wait and hang about, he just wants to get on with the fight.
Yeah, forgive me. I'm just trying to gauge the room here. Just doors are opening left, right, and centre, and there's a lot of people filtering in. Just the setting here. This is actually Oleksandr Usyk's hotel. So whilst Anthony Joshua has had to travel across Jeddah, it's not too far, but literally Oleksandr Usyk is coming from upstairs. So you know he's probably got people in the room here saying, don't come down until he's in the room.
Yeah.
No. We keep having people walking through. Okay. We are live, yes, thank you. Anthony Joshua's just making his way. Interesting this, because I wonder if he thought we'll walk straight in here and get going. He's just...
He's just hanging about, do what I've got to do. I'll come and say hello to everybody. It's quite a few familiar faces from back home.
Maybe we should just step out, Johnny, to the left of camera, and we'll just keep talking over this. We can see him there. He was just embracing with Ben Whitaker. And here comes Oleksandr Usyk.
I wonder if he was about to leave and just wait until he came in.
Yes, I wonder if that was what was going on there.
Usyk walks in traditional dress. This guy's a very patriotic guy.
Okay, so I think now is the time for us to throw over to the main press conference. Both fighters, champion and challenger, are now in the ring. Thanks to Matt, thanks to Johnny. Let's get over to the main event press conference.
Hey. Excuse me. Welcome. François.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to the final press conference for the Rage on the Red Sea. At this time, we would like to honor our host nation, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, with their national anthem. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the revered title, the most revered title in the history of all sports for 150 years is Heavyweight Champion of the World. From John L. Sullivan to Jack Dempsey to Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, to the names we're more familiar with today, Lennox, Evander, Smokin' Joe, Muhammad Ali, and to the two gentlemen you're about to have a little bit of a conversation with right here behind me. Heavyweight Champion of the World. That's the title everyone wants to be. When you have that title, you're recognized as the baddest man on the planet, the king of the world in all of sports. So here to tell us more about it and to get this press conference started is a gentleman who's no stranger to big fights and big fight atmosphere, as he's been around it his entire life. Let's turn it over to Mr. Eddie Hearn from Matchroom Boxing.
Thank you very much, Michael, and thank you to everybody here today in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. It's an incredible turnout. It's been an incredible week. You know, looking around now, so many familiar faces. I look down there at my good friend Prince Khalid. This whole journey started via a phone call, a message on Instagram. You know, I didn't believe it was possible. And a few years ago, we staged, of course, the Clash on the Dunes in Riyadh, where Anthony Joshua regained his world heavyweight titles. Pandemic slowed us in our tracks, but the vision from you guys, from Saudi Arabia, from Skills Challenge has always been the same. Prince Fahad, Ravi, Skills Challenge, what an incredible team with a vision for the sport of boxing to invest from the grassroots up to the elite level of the sport. There are amateur tournaments taking place today, tomorrow here. We've seen participation levels up over 300% in the kingdom. There's Saudi fighters fighting on the undercard on Saturday. There's the first ever female bout, professional bout, taking place on the undercard to this show. And of course, as Michael Buffer said, there's the world heavyweight title. It doesn't get any bigger than that. And two greats of the sports, Oleksandr Usyk, the pound for pound number one in boxing right now, the former undisputed cruiserweight, the current unified world heavyweight champion. Also, Olympic gold medalist, as is this man, Olympic gold medalist in London 2012. In his 16th fight, he became world heavyweight champion. In his 19th fight, he unified the division in front of 90,000 people, beating Vladimir Klitschko. Then he unified against Joseph Parker. He's changed the face of the sport in Britain and around the world. Two tremendous fighters, two great athletes, two great champions, but also two great ambassadors of the sport that people, not just in Saudi Arabia, but all around the world can be inspired by. We're going to hear from them and their team. And of course, over to our partners, Skills Challenge. Prince Fahad, thank you so much for everything you've done. A major moment for the kingdom at the weekend, and everybody's so excited for the big night on Saturday.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you all, and welcome to Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. If I may, I will speak in Arabic. في البداية طبعا احنا محظوظين بالدعم الكبير والاهتمام الكبير من قيادتنا على رأسهم مولاي خادم الحرمين الشريفين الملك سلمان وسمو ولي العهد الأمير محمد بن سلمان اللي يولي طبعا الرياضة اهتمام خاص والدعم الأكبر لنا والدعم الكبير أيضا من وزارة الرياضة وعلى رأسهم الأمير عبد العزيز بن تركي الفيصل اللي واقف مع جميع الرياضيين وكان واقف معنا طول الطريق. وطبعا ما أنسى الشكر موصول لإخواننا في اتحاد الملاكمة. وطبعا بسبب هذا الدعم وهذا الاهتمام أصبحت المملكة الآن وجهة عالمية لأكبر وأقوى المسابقات في العالم، ودائما حريصين على توفير كافة الجهود وكافة الطاقات لتكون الأحداث والحدث هذا على أعلى مستوى. من نزال الدرعية 2019 إلى نزال البحر الأحمر في جدة يؤكد حرص المملكة على أن تكون وجهة عالمية جديدة للملاكمة. وبإذن الله نحن كشركة نسعد ونتشرف بأننا ننظم حدث كبير مثل هذا اللي يساهم في إظهار قدراتنا كأبناء وبنات الوطن، أننا نقدر على استضافة حدث مثل كذا وعلى إدارة وتنفيذ الحدث هذا بكل احترافية. وفي النهاية يعني I would like to thank Eddie, Matchroom, Aegis and the champions here sitting and their teams, and I would like to say welcome to Saudi Arabia and good luck to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you again, as I said, to Skills Challenge and the entire team involved in Saudi Arabia. Thank you for always keeping to your word. Thank you for delivering on all your promises. And it's been a tremendous partnership working with you. And of course, our great team at Matchroom as well. So many to mention, but of course, Frank Smith done a tremendous job with Ravi at Skills Challenge to make sure this event is executed in the perfect fashion for this incredible World Heavyweight Championship. We go down to our other partners in this event. Of course, Alex Krasuk, Aegis Klimas, K2 Promotions. Alex, it's been a great journey. Of course, yourself, we saw the reaction on your face when Oleksandr became the World Heavyweight Champion at Tottenham Hotspur. It meant a lot to you. Now, defending the title, different mindset. I'm sure Alex won't say, so it's just another fight to him, but a huge occasion on Saturday.
Dear guests, it's a big honor for us to be here, to be hosted by Saudi Arabia. Thanks a lot to His Highness Prince Khalid, for the whole team of Skill Challenge Entertainment, for the enormous work that's been done within the last couple of months. When we watched Usyk's videos from the training camp, we realized that he looks like a cyborg. He went through the hell in the training camp within the last 3 months, and it did not kill him, but made him even stronger. I've never seen him more determined than now. So not too many champions in the world can share their experience going through the war and making their way to the ring to defend their heavyweight crown. And it was an exclusively, extremely complicated challenge for him, but he seems to have passed it good. So he made his decision to take the rematch in these circumstances after he'd received a massive support from his Ukrainian compatriots. He was in touch with high-ranked military officers. He visited the hospitals with injured combatants. He was in touch with just common fans, and every conversation he heard words of support and blessing to take the rematch. So people wanted him to fight. People still want him to win. People want the Ukrainian flag to be risen. People want the Ukrainian anthem to be heard throughout the whole planet. And the whole world has to know that Ukraine is the country of free, transparent, strong, spiritual, and developed people. Not too many men in the world can deliver this message to millions, to 100 million people. And Usyk is able to do that. And he does that through the sports of boxing. It won't sound fair from my mouth if I start to say how good this man is. Since I've been his promoter probably for more than 9 years. So let the history judge how special this man is. And I wish good luck to both fighters. Let the best man win. Inshallah. Thank you.
Igis been on the team for a long time. We were very confident in London. You were very confident in London. One of us was right, one of us was wrong. Hopefully that's reversed this time. But you know this is a great fight, tremendous occasion. You've done fights all over the world. Very special night in Jeddah on Saturday.
I'm still comfortable. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having us here in this beautiful country, Saudi Arabia. I can't explain my expressions, what I feel here, and the people, how friendly people are, how warm we meet here. We are met here. It's unbelievable. Looking forward to come back, and if it's going to be possible. I wanted to thank Prince Khalid for putting this together. I wanted to thank for organization, Skills Challenger, Matchroom, K2, to finding their ways to work out together. Of course, this was a little bit bumpy road, as always, but we made it. We're here. As far as talking about Oleksandr Usyk, I'm so proud to represent him. I can tell you, I never seen anybody at the 45 degrees heat to ride the bicycle for 100 kilometers. I never seen anybody swimming the day before press conference in London for 10 kilometers in the pool for 5 hours. I never seen anybody holding his breath underwater for 4 minutes and 40 seconds, almost passing away, shaking himself. And then I asked him, what's wrong with you? He said, I know I have a trainer behind me. He's not going to let me draw. He's going to pull me out. And I hope all of this is going to be helping him on Saturday night. Thank you. We'll see you on Saturday night.
Thank you, Igis. Before we go back to the champion, Oleksandr Usyk, we go to the challenger, Anthony Joshua and team. Robert Garcia, straight in at the deep end. One of the biggest fights in boxing, the Unified World Heavyweight Championship. You've been part of the team for a while now. What an occasion. Exciting. This is absolutely everything that everybody lives for in the sport. Huge fight, and ready to see AJ become the new World Heavyweight Champion at the weekend.
Definitely was a great experience, great being here in Saudi Arabia. Everybody's been very nice, very hospitality with us. And, the team did their job. Angel Fernandez, myself, the rest of the team, the champion did what he was supposed to do. We're ready. We're ready to do it.
Obviously, the first camp for you with AJ, probably seen a slightly different mentality in this fight, challenger mentality. How's it been working with him? Obviously a tremendous athlete and a great talent as well. We know he's up against a pound-for-pound great fighter as well, but you and I know the team truly believe that he will be victorious at the weekend.
100%. It was a challenge, obviously coming off a loss and getting to do the game plan and do it in training, during mid-work, doing sparring and everything, but at the end, the job was done. And like I'm telling you, I'll repeat you again, the rest of the team, everybody did a great job. Anthony himself followed instructions. And now the only thing in his mind is to become champion again. And I think Saturday night, we're going to walk out with those belts.
AJ talked to the media about the importance of the talk doesn't matter. What happened 5 weeks ago doesn't matter. Everything matters on Saturday night. getting it right. Obviously, you'll be a big part of that instruction on Saturday night, the tactics, the ability to adapt during the fight as well. But the mind frame seems in a great place for AJ to go out there, follow instructions for the weekend.
I think he picked right at the right moment. You know, this week has been, you know, pretty easy for him. You know, he's happy. He's smiling with everybody. He doesn't have a problem. I think that's a good sign of things going the right way. You know, but training camp was awesome. You know, sparring partners did a great job too. So, you know, we're ready. Like I said, you know, I repeat it again. You know, I think we're ready to bring those belts back home.
Thank you, Robert. AJ, back in Saudi Arabia, of course, you've been here many weeks now. In fact, people ask me, how's the experience been in Saudi Arabia? And sometimes I say, if you need to know, AJ's been here 4 or 5 weeks. That tells you everything you need to know about the hospitality and how comfortable you are here. Great memories here. That was the past. I've seen you put the pressure on yourself this week to say, I must win on Saturday night.
Yeah, thanks to everyone in Saudi Arabia, my friends, my team at the front there, Prince Khalid Skills Challenge, his family as well. My boy Banda sitting there as well. Just shout out to everyone first and foremost for taking care of us while we've been here. And that's it. Must win. I like the pressure. It's been tough. Robert Garcia, Angel Fernandez, and like existing members of my previous team as well have definitely pushed me, challenged me. But mostly like, yeah, just get the job done. Instinct, stay focused, get the job done, and God willing, we're victorious.
For many years, you've been the guy who British boxing, sometimes world boxing, has been on your shoulders, has been following you around to all these big stadiums as well. Feels a little bit different this week as well. You're still the big star, but you're the challenger. You know, Oleksandr Usyk has those belts as well. You go into the ring with none of them, but can leave with all of them on display here. And the Ring Magazine Championship, I know that you talk about this fight for you is not about the belts. Is that what it comes down to? Just about competition, about winning, to have the hunger after everything you've achieved out the ring, inside the ring, you still want to win so bad at the weekend?
Yeah, it's competition, right? So you set a goal. I've got goals that I want to achieve in the ring on the night, and I'm going to be disciplined enough and follow them through. So yeah, that's like competition with myself. And as you mentioned about the belts, they mean something, but that's all at the end of the target. So it's not like I'm skipping the process. So I'm focused on the process.
And finally, you've been through some tough times inside the ropes and come through the other side. Mentally prepared to do whatever it takes at the weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I want to compete. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't really say much else, but you got to have a competitive spirit. And yeah, I'm looking forward to competing.
Thank you. AJ, Oleksandr, welcome. The world heavyweight champion. Defending that for the first time, the rematch, the biggest fight of your career, of course, on Saturday night. You've looked to be enjoying your time here. You've been in the Middle East for a while now, preparing. You feel good for Saturday night?
Good afternoon, Saudi Arabian. Хочу подякувати тим людям, які надали можливість тут боксувати.
First of all, I want to say thank you to people who allow us to box here.
Prince Khalid, thank you so much. Це дуже важливо для мене, для моєї команди, для моєї країни.
It's very important for me, for my team and for my country.
Я дуже радий, що я тут знаходжусь. Я вже не перший раз, я третій раз знаходжусь в Саудівській Аравії.
I'm really happy to be here. It's not my first time, it's my third time already in Saudi Arabia.
І мені здається, я буду повертатись сюди знову.
And I feel like I'm gonna be here again and again.
Thank you.
Oleksandr, many people feel that AJ will be better in this fight. You've also said you believe you will be better in this fight as well. Are you expecting a more competitive fight this time around?
Так, я розумію, що на другий поєдинок ми друг друга знаємо, і Джей подивився наш перший поєдинок.
Yeah, it's true. We learned each other in the first fight. He learned me, I learned him.
Але мені здається, це не буде новий поєдинок, це буде продовження, то буде 13-й раунд, 14-й, 15-й, там скільки їх буде, тільки Бог знає.
But I don't think it's going to be the new boat. It's going to be the last boat will be continued for the round 13, 14, 15, or whatever it's going to last.
У нас було достатньо часу, щоб повивчати один одного.
We had enough time to study each other.
І в суботу буде дуже гарний поєдинок.
And this Saturday night will be a great fight.
And finally, Oleksandr, last time you two looked deep in each other's eyes. You had a long face-off. AJ talks about competition, about the love of the sport. Is that what it's about for you as well? Competition and winning?
Та ми народжені для того, щоб змагатися за життя, чи за пояси, чи просто за щось.
We were born to compete for life, for belts, for anything.
Хто цього не робить по життю, той не живе.
The one who does not compete does not live.
Все наше життя то є якісь змагання за щось, за когось.
All our lives are competitions for anything, for something, for somebody.
От ми і змагаємось.
That's why we are competing.
Thank you very much. Oleksandr Usyk, thank you very much. Anthony Joshua, Robert Garcia, Igis Klimas, Alex, Prince Fahad, thank you so much. Prince Khalid, Skills Challenge. Well, there you have it, guys. Just a few days away now from the Unified World Heavyweight Championship here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Looking forward to a tremendous event, a great undercard, and of course the biggest prize in boxing, the Unified World Heavyweight Championship. We're going to have a head-to-head up here now. Sorry? Sure. AJ?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to thank my sparring partners as well. My sparring partners, you know, over the months. I just wanted to thank my team, Wadi Camacho, Thomas Carty, Agron, Victor, Shukran, Danis, Dempsey, Marco, Aziz, Kem, Tavis, DJ, Isaac, Cassius, Naz, Kieran, all my sparring partners, because I think that they don't get enough credit as well, that they come in and push me so much. So I just wanted to big up my sparring partners, some are in the crowd now. We're still working. Yeah, just wanted to not forget them guys, because they're the ones that are the ones that are pushing us day in, day out. So,
Ентоні подякував спаринг-партнерам. Це дуже важливі люди, які допомагають нам бути краще.
I want to add, AJ just thanked his sparring partners, and I want to say how important they are. These are the people who make us better.
Thank you, guys. Two great role models, two great ambassadors. As I said, this is the most wonderful sport. And when you have champions like this, we're very proud to represent them, to work with them. And of course, they can inspire not just people in Saudi Arabia, but people around the world. This is a great sport, great people, and they will go to battle for our entertainment on Saturday night. Let's always respect not just these sparring partners that prepare them for war, but once again, these two great fighters up here that are willing to go to battle for our entertainment at the weekend. Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua, thank you so much.
AJ, straight at the back. AJ, straight at the back with cameras.
Let's go, AJ. And review. You about to learn today. Let's go. Come on, Ben. Stay down. Yeah. Ready, AJ?
What a thoroughly interesting main event press conference there. So much to sort of talk about there. Let's start with the finish, the head-to-head. Difficult to almost see that height difference between the two. I know they're different wearing trainers today, but it's an exaggerated height difference between the two. He towered above Oleksandr Usyk Anthony Joshua. What did you read from the head-to-head there?
It makes you now realise how well he did the last time. You look at the size difference, you're looking at the build of both fighters. From that head-to-head there was no familiarity. AJ just wanted to get in, get out. Last one on the stage. Usyk was happy to stay there, sing with confidence and feel comfortable coming in national warrior dress. He wants to make more than one statement.
It's okay, you're not the first, you won't be the last. You carry on. No, you're okay. Team Usyk, well, you know, it's okay.
He wants to make quite a few statements there, and this is serious. It's serious for Anthony Joshua. You can tell, no messing about, no gimmicks. Get the game face on.
They took a lot of time to thank sparring partners and associated team members as well at the end there. I'm just going to read a few stats that came from Egis Klimas to you, Matt. He said, never before have I seen anybody in 45-degree heat ride 100 kilometres on a bike, swim 10 kilometres for 4 hours and hold their breath for 4 minutes 40 underwater. He is renowned for his varying and quite different and perhaps not the most traditional training methods. That shouldn't really come as a surprise, but they're staggering stats.
They're big stats. He told me that last night, Egis. Or was it the night before at the media?
They're all going into one.
Rolling into one at this point, yeah. But he told me that. He said he's just in unbelievable shape, which you'd expect.
Yeah.
But I think he's an exceptional athlete. You know, you don't have to see him dancing to see the agility and the movement and the rhythm of a big guy like that. But it's his ring IQ, it's his ring generalship, it's how he can navigate and control where he's in the ring, that in and outs, judge a distance, timing. This is a hard fight for AJ. You know, Usyk's the favourite. You know, he proved in his first fight that if AJ tries to have a boxing match, then he's gonna come a cropper. There's only one guy that wins a boxing match there between those two guys. The tactics are simple. It's very easy to see what AJ needs to do. He's got to go out there, he's got to take the centre of the ring, he's got to back him up, dictate, and he's got to impose his physicality on Usyk. He's a bigger puncher, he's a bigger, stronger guy. We've seen it at the head-to-head. He's got the physical advantages in those departments. He doesn't have the speed or maybe the ring experience and the cuteness that Usyk has. So don't get into that type of fight. Don't make it about cuteness, make it about physicality.
It may now need to be brawn over brain, as far as AJ is concerned. because that's the one thing that's got to wait for him, because Usyk has everything AJ hasn't: experience, wisdom. He's ticked all the boxes in regards to technical boxing ability. The only thing he hasn't got is the natural weight, the natural height, the natural strength. So now it's brawn over brains, and that's what he's got to do.
There's two lines that I wrote down. I mean, there was many that you could have picked out, but the way AJ finished his speech there, I'm just looking forward to it. And I go back to that quote that he said in the build-up, which was, deep down, did I really believe I could win the first fight? This time he has to believe.
Well, it tells you that, and one or two of his camp have said that in the back of his head the last time he was thinking about Tyson Fury. He wasn't actually giving the respect due to Oleksandr Usyk. As far as the other heavyweights are concerned, he's a middleweight, jumped up to cruiserweight, jumped up to heavyweight. So now, and I remember the fight, Dylan White, the Shazors and people like that, before the fight said, this fight will go to this, and see AJ should walk through him. They didn't expect Usyk to be as determined and successful in the fight. Now, Usyk has his respect. And so when you respect a fighter, that means you've got to bring your A game. And bringing your A game, AJ needs to make sure every attribute, every experience, up and down, every bit of his being it's got to be on Saturday night. Because if it's not, I'm telling you now, this is a serious, for him, the debt is his career.
We're in the danger zone, aren't we? Yeah. We are in the danger zone.
I just can't see this fight going 12 rounds, because I think AJ's got to gamble and gamble big. I don't think he can have a plan B. He's got one plan, and that's got to take the fight to him. He's got to set a pace that's probably not sustainable for him over 12 rounds, but I think it's the only way he beats him. He's got to really put Usyk under the cosh from the get-go. So if he doesn't get him out of there after 6 or 7, the chances are he'll blow up, gas out, and then Usyk will stop him. But I think he's got to really just believe in those tactics, really commit to it.
He finished off by saying, we were born to compete. I mean, he is a natural-born competitor. In terms of confidence, from where we were, I mean, I might get a few tweets here, but I don't know. But from where we were, we couldn't really see what was going on at the top table. But I said to John, it looked like Oleksandr was doing the equations and the brain training again, and he was writing some sort of message.
This is his message. This is his message to get across that. Listen, I'm far more too intelligent for any of this foolishness. I want to get on with the fight. For AJ, he thanks everybody. He appreciated everybody what's been done. He loves the competition, and to prove that, you've got to think when he's had adversities in his career, when he's from turning pro at 18 years old, the things that he's done, it's taken a lot of mental strength to pick up a talent, pick up a skill that has been taught, to put it into practice. He lost to Ruiz, went back, fixed it, came back again. He's mentally strong enough to go back. It's a case of if his game plan works. Now, I'm quite sure he's going to execute his game plan down to a T. But will that game plan work? Will Usyk be 2 or 3 steps ahead of him? So I don't doubt the mental strength, the competitive spirit of Anthony Joshua. What I will doubt is, will his game plan be good enough to outsmart a smart guy?
Okay, we're not quite at prediction time yet. We'll save that for Friday. We've got to have something up our sleeve. We've done a lot of talking. Thank you for staying with us. That was the undercard and the main event press conference. Fight week, no media event scheduled tomorrow, so the next time we will see the two fighters together will be for the final time at the final weigh-in on Friday. So wherever you watch this stream, come back there on Friday and find us. We're looking forward to it.